At the end of the day, information is out there. Make up your mind on your own. One of them said something about the National Endowment for Democracy.
Uh-huh.
Do you know anything about that? What does that mean?
The National Endowment for Democracy has taken many millions of dollars from the CIA to promote American propaganda, mainstream American government propaganda. So when it talks about things like nation building, it's not really talking about nation building. It's talking about encouraging the development of leaders in foreign countries that are going to be knee-jerk supporters of the U.S. and U.S. foreign policy.
So it's mainly a propaganda PSYOP sort of machine, for lack of a better term. It's not like actual boots on the ground type operations.
Oh, yeah. Not at all boots on the ground. When we liberated Kuwait in 1991, I've told you in the past, I went in with the Marines on Liberation Day. It was very, very exciting. One of the highlights of my life, my adult life. And then within days of Kuwait being liberated, these Americans just kind of show up. And they came to the embassy to register, and then we would bump into each other at events. Remember, the country's literally on fire. The Iraqis had blown up all the oil wells, and there are these giant, 100-foot-high flames gushing out of the ground. It turned out these people were from the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee. And I'm like, what are you doing here? And they said, well, we're here to help them transition to democracy. Well, it's a monarchy. It's not going to be. They have this little elected, Majlis al-Watani, a national assembly. But it's not going to ever be democratic. Well, I was in my 20s then, not really savvy enough to know that this is all part of the plan. You use the National Endowment for Democracy. You use, NPR. You use the DNC and the RNC. And you all smile and get along and go to cocktail parties. And it's all just to promote American propaganda. I worked with a guy briefly, John Rendon, God bless him, awesome guy. And I asked him one time, this is before he hired me to do a contract, I asked him what he did. He said, I'm a professional propagandist. I said, what does that mean? And he said, well, you were in Kuwait on Liberation Day. And I said, yeah. He said, you remember when the American tanks are rolling down the main street, the Corniche? I said, sure. And he said, and 1 million people are out there waving little American flags? I said, yeah. He said, where the hell do you think those flags came from?